Hello, today we're talking to Geraud from French Tax Online, and I think this interview is going to be illuminating for all of us. Hello, Geraud. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Hi, Lizzie.
We're going to fire you with a lot of questions about tax. And these are the things that people really ask us all the time.
Yeah.
So the first question, which I know is a confusing thing for a lot of people, who exactly has to put in a French tax return?
Well, actually, the very first rule is everyone with a French source of income. So even though you're British, American, German, etc., and you have a French source of income, probably a rental income, you have to submit the French tax return. Okay? Even though you do not live here, you still have to declare it. So actually, you have to declare it in France, pay the French taxes, and then declare your French income in your own country, most probably with a tax credit equal to the amount of the taxes paid in France already.
So then it does not have a basis in how long you've been in France.
That's the very first case. The second case is anyone being a French tax resident. In that case, it's no longer about the source of income itself.
Yeah.
It's about where you live, how long you've been there, etc. Okay? The tax residency is really a gray area because the rules are quite wide, and it's very complicated to say this person lived in France forever or not. Okay? So it's actually a matter of 4 or 5 different criteria. And please let me say something. The 183 days is a myth.
Oh.
There is no such rule. It doesn't exist. Okay? And it's not because you've only spent 120 days in France that you are not a French tax resident, or the contrary. Okay? Let's say you're American. You arrived to France in December 2024. You arrived in France full time. Okay? You moved to France.
Right.
Then you have to submit a French tax return for the period of time from the beginning of December until the end of December.
No.
Because the French tax year is calendar from January to December. Okay? So actually, you have to submit a tax return from the day you arrived in France until the end of the year.
So just to clarify, that refers to people who have moved to France definitively in December as an example,
Yeah.
but who have moved to France definitively. That presumably doesn't apply to somebody who's on a short-term visa?
Well, if you're on holidays, of course, it's different because you're not a French tax resident. Okay, so it's not really a visa question because visa and taxes are not related, really. Okay, we don't care about your visa organization. We only do care about the different tax residency criteria. If you live in France, if this is your main home, if your family is in France, if your personal or professional strings or assets are in France, then you are a French tax resident. And this is not all of them.
Right.
It's one of them, pretty much.
Gosh.
Okay? So it's not easy to say. And of course, there is no way to be 100% sure about, the very complicated situation. So the thing is, when you move to France, or when you're going to France for holidays.
Yeah.
So if you come to France for holidays, there is obviously nothing to declare, right? But if you move to France for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or you don't know how long, but you take your stuff, you rent a place for a long time, you want to buy a property, you want to stay there, then most probably you became a French tax resident. And in this case, you have to submit a French tax return, and most probably one in your home country. 100% sure if you are American.
We will talk about double tax treaties in a little while, actually, because that leads on to that subject. Yeah.